Hey you guys, so I am on top of one of these little lookouts. Okay, don't make fun of my missing and mixing up things. And I am taking a nice walk, and it's very, very hot out here, so you're gonna see that I'm gonna be sweating like crazy, but who cares? And I wanted to talk to you about a couple things that seems to be a problem for people. And one of the biggest problems seems to be is very soon after when people go, out of college, and a lot of people, find themselves not being able to establish their most efficient patterns. Like, let's say in college, you were studying at a particular time of the day, you were doing a particular, you were also having to go to school in the morning, so you were studying at night and all that. Then maybe you get married, even if you didn't go to college, obviously you go get married. Then you have to establish a certain type of pattern to fulfill the obligations that you have as a parent. There are always different things around us that seem to dictate how we live our life and how we create our creative times, how we organize our life around everybody else's, hey Tanya, everybody else's needs and desires. And this is where as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure many of you would agree with me, this is where we go wrong. And I've done this for so many years, and my productivity suffered, my health and physical activity suffered. And as you could see, I was in the hospital last week, and partially because also I did not have the efficiency of my patterns. I actually knew what my patterns were. I knew what the efficiency was, but I was not living up to my own patterns, what my body needs, what my mind needs, what my soul needs. Okay, so let's just take apart a couple things. So how do you do that? One of the best ways I noticed is for me to see, number one, what time of the day I am the most efficient for a particular task. So for example, creative work, I am the best early in the morning. So when I have to do any kind of, we are just launching another product right now, and if I'm doing the copy for it. So that's very creative work. That's something that I have to really go into my own psyche, what I want to share. I want to go into the psyche of my potential buyer whose work and whose life I want to change. So that's a very creative work, okay? So what I do in those times is I really have to find the time to write that, and first thing in the morning when I get up. Because that's somehow, I guess maybe because when you sleep, a lot of times they say that you are in your, what they say, the most awakened state as far as really intuition wise. You really feel your own vibration. You potentially feel your potential client's vibration, or whatever you want to do. So if you want to write a book, you're writing to the people that you want to write to, and whatever comes out of you early in the morning, it's maybe the best time because you are still in that, you're just coming out of that slumber and the world didn't hit you yet, and so forth and so on. So for example, I don't look at anything in the morning other than get down to work and just write. But then for me, the gift actually ends up being that once I'm done with that writing, that 2 or 3 hours, that is my time. That's the time where I do, I actually tell my family, I tell my husband that, okay, now I'm available for you. We can do whatever we need to do. And a lot of times I found that people, clients that I work with, that have families, what they decided to do is they actually, if they were serious about accomplishing the goal that they were trying to accomplish, they would get up sometimes 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning for a period of time, and they would put in 2 hours of work before the children got up. And I know that maybe for the long term you can't sustain that all the time, but once you get into a rhythm and you figure yourself out when you are most creative for that particular element of your work, you will absolutely not just love doing it, but you're going to look forward to that time. So like right now, I've been building in the exercises with my sister, who's been taking me apart beautifully, and I'm really missing that I haven't been able to do that the last 4 or 5 days. And I'm telling you, about 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago when we started, I really didn't want to start. I was like, oh my God, I'm hurting. But just believe me that now it's so much part of my routine that I really miss it. So if you can figure out what your most efficient patterns are, so for example, in the morning you may be more creative, or if you have to make some client calls that you want to be more aware, more fresh for them, or if the morning is the time for you that you want to be with your family, it's the morning is the time that you want to be with your husband and go out and work out together. You just need to figure out when for what task, when are you the most prepared for. And I'm telling you that once I figured out this schedule for myself and I am sticking to it, like I have this conversation a lot of times at 10 a.m. when I'm writing, and Ron would say, okay, I want to do this, this, and this. And I said, no, we are not doing this and this and this, because I'm not doing anything that's not emergency from 8 to 11. Simple as that. And if you block that out for yourself, whatever time of the day, if you block that out for yourself, you are going to produce and you are going to create and you're going to go so much faster in everything that you want to do. So make sure you figure out your most efficient patterns. By the way, this is something that we do in our building, a business in a box program that we are offering in a couple weeks. That we literally help you figure out these particular efficiency patterns. But this is going to give you not just ammunition to do the job, but also a type of organization that every person needs. Whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a parent, whether you do, I don't care what you do. You need that type of organization in your life, okay? So make sure that you figure out your most efficient patterns and make sure that you develop literally an organization, a calendar, a daily planner, just for that, to make sure that you follow through, because it's going to be authentic to you. You are going to feel good about it, and you are going to produce like you're going to 10x your production if you follow these patterns. Okay, so I just wanted to come and tell you that today, because again, I worked very hard today during the day, and this is the gift that I get for myself, right? I get to see this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful environment. I get to go for a walk. And then after this, I'm going to go and have dinner. And then after that, after dinner, I do usually some of those things that doesn't require mind work per se. That's when I do a lot of my social media engagement stuff. Yay, you're welcome, Jenny. That's why I usually do all my social engagement stuff. I like to talk to people. I love to give a lot of positive responses and a lot of motivation and inspiration to people. That's what I do while I'm after dinner. But when I have to write, I write. When I have to create, when I have to be with clients, I have to be my 100%. All right, everyone. And Jenny, it's so funny because you say thanks. And the funny thing is, Jenny was one of my former students. And actually, Jenny was one of the most incredibly potent organizer I've ever seen in a college student. And so I learned a lot from you, just so you know, those couple of years ago. So I just want you to know that I really, really learned a lot from my students. I learned a lot from my clients. And I learned on my own that I share with you. All right, everyone. Stacy, thank you. This is really inspiring. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, the look is amazing, right? Take a look again. It's gorgeous here. Just take a look. It's absolutely gorgeous here. I hope you can see it into the sun, too. All right, everyone. Have a great day. And I'm going to continue to connect with you. Because there's like a bunch of these kind of tips that I wanted to share with you, both business-wise and as well as mindset-wise and work-life balance, okay? It is going to be coming up because I am healthy again and I want to keep going for you. Bye, everyone.